ఓం 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 శుక్లాంబరధరం విష్ణుం శశివర్ణం చతుర్భుజం ప్రసన్నవదనం ధ్యాయేత్ సర్వవిఘ్నోపశాంతయే. సరస్వతీ నమస్తుభ్యం వరదే కామరూపిణి. విద్యారంభం కరిష్యామి సిద్ధిర్భవతు మే సదా. గురుర్బ్రహ్మా గురుర్విష్ణుః గురుర్దేవో మహేశ్వరः. గురుః సాక్షాత్ పరం బ్రహ్మ తస్మై శ్రీ గురవే నమః. ఓం శాంతి శాంతి శాంతి. As today we are starting the 14th chapter, so let us do the chanting of all dhyana shlokas. Om Parthaya pratibodhitam bhagavata Narayanena swayam Vyasena gratitam puranamunina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitaamrutavarshiniim Bhagavatiim Ashtadashaധ്യായിനീം అంబ త్వామనుసందధామి భగవద్గీతే భవద్వేషిణీ. నమోऽस्तु వ్యాస విశాల బుద్ధే పుల్లారవిందాయతపత్రనేత్ర. येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः. प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः. सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः. पार्थो वत्स सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्. वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला. अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरननदी कैवर्तकः केशवः. पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितम्. लोके सज्जनषट्पदैर्हरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसिनः श्रेयसे. मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्. यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः. ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः. देवाय तस्मै नमः. देवाय तस्मै नमः. Let us chant the first 5 shlokas from the 14th chapter. Om Śrīparamātmane namaḥ. Atha caturdaśo'dhyāyaḥ. Śrībhagavānuvāca. paraṁ bhūyaḥ pravakṣyāmi jñānānāṁ jñānamuttamam yajjñātvā munayaḥ sarve paraṁ siddhimito gatāḥ iadaṁ jñānamupāśritya mama sādharmyamāgatāḥ sarge'pi nopajāyante pralaye vyathanti ca mama yonirmahad brahma tasmin garbham dadhamyaham sambhavah sarvabhutanam tato bhavati bharata sarvayonishu kaunteya murtayah sambhavanti yah tasam brahma mahadyonihi aham bija pradhaphitha sattvam rajastama iti gunaha prakriti sambhava nibadnanti mahabaho dehe dehinam avyayam. By the grace of Ishvara, by the blessings of the Gurus, so far we are able to study the 13 chapters. So today we are entering into the 14th chapter. The name of the 14th chapter is Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. We know the 3 gunas. The 3 gunas are discussed in this chapter with the different shades of the 3 gunas. That is going to be unfolded in the 14th chapter. And what are the 3 gunas? And how to transcend the 3 gunas? That is the topic. Because as long as these 3 gunas are parinama is changing or fluctuating, we will be into the bondage. But how can we overcome from the bondage, from the clutches of these 3 gunas? That is a topic discussed in this chapter. So the chapter deals with the 3 gunas and the transcendence of them, which is moksha. Transcending the gunas means which is a moksha only. And this chapter having the base in the 13th chapter. There is one shloka where it was made clear that kshetra and kshetrajna have the status of being the cause of creation and not independent prakriti in the presence of the purusha as proposed the Sankhya philosophy. There are purushas are many, each different from the other. And each purusha is detached asanga from the prakriti. And prakriti which is independent of the purusha. I am pointing out the Sankhya philosophy point of view, just to have the background. In the Sankhya philosophy, there are many purushas, and the purusha is asangaha. Asangaha means independent, or you can say detached from the prakriti. And this prakriti, which is independent of the purusha, independently creates the world. As per the Sankhya philosophy, purusha is different, prakriti is different. Both have been having the independent realities. So when there are 2 independent realities, there is a no point to see the oneness because of the 2 independent realities. So here in this chapter, Bhagavan Krishna is going to explain to us. We will be studying with the help of Shankaracharya's commentary. Wherever required, we will take the support of the Shankaracharya. And it proves that the Prakriti is not an independent entity. and how this prakriti is causing the bondage. Then how we can transcend from these clutches of the three gunas. That is a topic here. Okay. The apparent connection of Purusha to the Prakriti comprising of the gunas, which is due to avidya. This avidya is the cause of all samsara, including various types of birth. Or you can take births also. Now here, Shankaracharya, introducing the chapter 14, raises a certain questions. The few questions are raised by the Shankaracharya as a part of introduction to the 14th chapter. What are those questions? It is better to note down these questions, which helps us how the topic is going to be unfolded. Number 1, what are the gunas? Number 2, how do they bind? Number 3, how is one to be released from them? Number 4, what are the characteristics of the free person? I repeat one more time. These 4 questions which are raised by the Shankaracharya. So answers we will get in the chapter. Number 1, I am repeating one more time. What are the gunas? Number 2, how do they bind? Number 3, how is one to be released from the gunas? Number 4, what are the characteristics of the free person? One who is free from the gunas, what are the characteristics of that particular person? So these are the 4 questions. So these are the topics discussed in the 14th chapter. Now let us begin the 14th chapter. Śrībhagavānuvāca paraṁ bhūyaḥ pravakṣyāmi jñānānāṁ jñānamuttamam yajjñātvā munayaḥ sarve paraṁ siddhimito gatāḥ. Śrībhagavānuvāca. I think I need not to translate this Bhagavanuvāca, Arjunavāca, at least in this stage. Since last 13 chapters we are listening Bhagavanuvāca, Arjunavāca. Let us take the Bhagavanuvāca as Bhagavanuvāca only. Śrībhagavānuvāca. Bhūyaḥ. Bhūyaḥ means one more time. Bhūyaḥ, once again. Pravakṣyāmi. Bhūyaḥ pravakṣyāmi. Once again, I shall impart. Or I can use another word for the pravakṣyāmi. One more time, I am going to tell you clearly. Bhūyaḥ pravakṣyāmi. Once again, I shall tell you, I will tell you, because I love you so much, oh my dear Arjuna. That is not given here. Just I am introducing. Why he is telling one more time? He may be thinking, I am spending so many years to study the Bhagavad Gita. Why Bhagavan has to tell one more time? That indicates the importance of the subject is a one reason. The second reason is to get the attention of Arjuna one more time. That indicates, hey, I am telling one more time means, hey, previously you have not listened properly. It's why I am telling one more time. Oh, maybe Krishna is thinking like that. Let me listen properly. To gaining the attention of the Arjuna, pravakṣyāmi. What I am going to tell one more time? Paraṁ jñānam, the supreme knowledge. Uttamam jñānamam. And here Bhagavan uses one adjective to this paraṁ jñānam, which is a supreme knowledge. And also one more adjective, uttamam jnanam. Not only the param jnanam, it is a uttamam jnanam. Uttamam means which is the greatest among all forms of knowledge. Among all knowledges, this is the best knowledge. Jñātvā yat. knowing that knowledge or gaining that knowledge, sarve munayaḥ, all the sages, gatāḥ. Gatāḥ means have reached. Where they reached? Paraṁ siddhim, the supreme goal. Itaha, from here. Let us discuss the shloka. We have seen the word by word. Let us discuss. Here, Bhagavan says, I will teach you again. Meaning that Bhagavan will not only repeat, but elaborate upon what he has already said in the previous chapters. Even though the vision of reality was unfolded more than once in the previous chapters, Bhagavan tells Arjuna that he is going to teach it again and thus draws the attention of Arjuna. So among the various disciplines of knowledge, this is Uttama. Uttama means the best, like a Shrestha, the most exalted. Such a status is not just to its sanctity. All knowledge is sacred. All the knowledges, whether para or apara, everything is sacred only, because which is not separate from the Bhagavan. That we have discussed in the 10th chapter. Very elaborately Bhagavan explained everything, whatever you see, whatever is available, which is not separate from the Ishvara. But even though everything is Ishvara, but among those, it is the best. We are not condemning the other knowledges. Only we are highlighting this particular knowledge, this particular jnanam. Why? The reasons are because it is a Brahma Vidya and which helps us to gain the moksha. The most desirable and desired end for a human being. We are having the Purusharthas, Dharmartha, Kama, Moksha. The first three Purusharthas are helping us to gain the fourth Purushartha, which is the moksha. And this subject, this jnanam, which is revealing the sadhana as well as sadhya. Sadhana means, sadhya means goal. So hence Bhagavan says, I am repeating one more time, more elaborately, which helps us to gain the moksha, which is the ultimate end. Hence Bhagavan uses the word uttama. And it is the ultimate knowledge. It is the ultimate knowledge. Paraṁ jñānam. Paraṁ jñānam, because its subject is the limitless Brahman. Param Brahma. Param Jnanam can be replaced with the Param Brahma. So among the various forms of knowledge, only this Param, everything else is Aparajnana. What is the difference between the Para and Apara here? When you look at from the knowledge point of view, any knowledge that which helps us to gain the moksha or to understand the tattva of the Ishvara, that is called Paramjnanam, the highest knowledge. Para means highest, apara means lowest, but don't take literally lowest and highest here. There is no comparison. That is the reason I am telling. Para means that which helps us to gain the moksha. What is apara? So can I say that this apara is not good for me? No, never say that. Aparajnana is also required for us, which is also important for us. Why? Which is not giving the ultimate goal to me. Why are you telling that it is also important for me? The reason is Aparajnana helps us to gain the prerequisite qualification in the form of Antakarana Shuddhi, in the form of gaining the maturity. So this aparajnana is also required. Unless you prepare your mind, you cannot receive the things. Unless you prepare your mind, neither you can receive, nor you can retain, nor you can reflect. So hence, aparajnana is also required to gain the adhikaritvam, to gain the maturity. But ultimately, remember, ultimately, parajnana is important for us. It is also important, but that is also most important. Hence, we use using the word uttama. Bhagavan uses the word uttama. So, unless you have developed a degree of intellectual discipline and certain fundamental attitudes, it is not possible to gain the parajnana. All the religious practices also belong to the category of aparajnana, and they are highly beneficial in helping one prepare for parajnana. So japa is important, puja is important, all the sadhanas are important, rituals are important, homa is important, doing the seva is important, bhakti, karma, etc. Everything is important, which helps us the preparation. So, and because the parajnana is knowledge of the truth of Ishvara, so turning one's attention towards the Ishvara and invoking the Ishvara's grace can only be helpful in this pursuit. So, to gain the grace of Ishvara, one has to do many other things, pujas, rituals, etc. Even though we say that is a aparajnana, but which helps us. That is the advantage and the beauty in Advaita Vedanta. In Advaita Vedanta, everything is inclusive. Nothing is excluded. Everything is included. Because somewhere or other where it is going to fit. Somewhere or other where it is going to be useful to us. Either something helps to gain the maturity or something makes us to understand the tattva. These are the only two things, okay? So, aparajnana is so named not only because its subject matter is not para, but also because it has no end. In aparajnana, where is the end? There is no end. Let me give some example. If you are trying to study any science, let us take the list science, the computer science. Is there end? Today you have studied one program, and before you have joined into the job, another program, another software came into the picture. Previously, we were so happy, like a couple of years back, with the minimum Microsoft, like a Word, PPT, Excel, etc. But these days, you need not to do anything. So many programs are came, and latest ChatGPT and artificial intelligence. Have you heard this artificial intelligence like 5 years back? We didn't have much information about the artificial intelligence. If you are a graduate recently completed, you have not studied the artificial intelligence. That means even after your graduation, what you need to do? Again, go for the study, knowing the artificial intelligence, because the scope is for the artificial intelligence, chat GPT, all these things. So never ending. Now you take the any other jnanam, how to earn the money, and you are earning the money. Where is the end? More everywhere. Unlimited. But whereas in the aparajnana, there is an end for it. In other knowledge, in aparajnana, there is a no end. But that is not so with the parajnana. It is the end in itself. The parajnana is the end in itself. It culminates in the knowledge of tattva, the truth of everything. It is knowledge of the whole, and knowing it, nothing remains to be known in terms of realities. Once when you gain the knowledge of the tattva, the Ishvara tattva, what else is there to know? Everything else we can understand is a mithya only. So with these two words, para and uttama, Bhagavan praises this knowledge to create the interest and enthusiasm in the listener. Who is the listener? Arjuna. Who is the Arjuna? We are the Arjuna. Arjuna is already listening to Ishvara, and now he is going to say again what he has been saying in the last 13 chapters to ensure Arjuna's continued attention. Bhagavan praises this knowledge in this shloka. And he also uses the another word here, munayaḥ, yat jñānātva, knowing this knowledge, munayaḥ, all the munis, sarve paraṁ siddhimito gatāḥ. What do you mean by muni? Muni means manana shila. Manana shila is called muni. And what are the qualities of this muni? The muni is having the three qualities, the most important three qualities. What are those things? Capacity to receive. Capacity to receive means receiving the knowledge, within the bracket knowledge. Capacity to receive. Capacity to retain whatever the knowledge received, having the capacity to retain that knowledge. And the third, capacity to reflect. Whatever the knowledge received, that knowledge is retained and also reflected on that knowledge. Where these three qualities are there, that person is called muni, or in whom these qualities are there, that person is called muni. This is another shade of the meaning. Okay. So manana shila, in a simple translation, we can say a contemplative mind. One who is having the contemplative nature is called muni. That is a general meaning. Okay. So there have been a number of such discriminative people in our history. There are great sages like a Vasishta and Vyasa. So on, list is unending. And all these great sages had gained the ultimate success. Paraṁ siddhim gatāḥ. Siddhi here refers to the success. Success here refers to the moksha. The word moksha is derived from the root much dhatu, which means release from the bondage. Moksha, the dhatu is much. The dhatu artha is release from bondage. Whenever it is used, whenever this moksha word is used, or whenever the much dhatu is used, one must look to see what is the bondage from which you are released. Moksha means release from the bondage. But what kind of bondage I am? That we have to look at, that we have to find out. Whenever you see this is dhatvartha, much or moksha. So here Shankaracharya says, they are released from the bondage of the body, which is due to ignorance, which is due to avidya. The desire that arises from that ignorance and the karma that is done to fulfill the desire, that is, they are released from the avidya, kama and karma. Because of avidya, there is a desire, kama. Because of the desire, there is a action which is called karma. So this is a connection. Avidya is a source, because of the avidya, desire, because of the desire, and there is a karma, activity. And free from avidya means free from the kama, free from the karma also. When I say free from the karma means, again, please remember the second chapter, Karma Yoga, Karma Niyavadhikaraste ma paleshu kadachana shloka. Don't think that I should not do any activity because I got the moksha. Free from the karma means, free from the kama means, where there is no kartrutva bhavana, there is no doership. If you are having the doership means we are in avidya. If there is no doership means we gain the jnana. So when the avidya goes, when the knowledge comes, still that person engaged in certain activities. Still that person will do the sankalpa. But not affected by that sankalpa, not affected by the activities, not affected by the result of the activities. Why? There is no doership. That is important. We to understand in that way. So what is the cause for the doership? Avidya. So that avidya is gone. Because of this avidya, one is going to become into the bondage. So one who is free from this bondage, that is called moksha, that is called the success, that is called the siddhi. And the accomplishment of it is a final, which is a para. Any other thing you gain is subject to loss. This is a wonderful thing. When you gain the knowledge, you are not going to lose it. Other than the knowledge, other than the jnanam, whatever you gain, it is subject to loss or subject to diminish. Slowly it is going to be reduced. Depreciation will be there. In every wealth, there is a depreciation. In the even accounts also, when they are preparing the final accounts, the balance sheet, etc., there is a one particular column called depreciation. It is recognized, accepted, including our body is also having the depreciation. Every year, up to certain age, you are gaining. Then once when you reach certain age, then depreciation starts. But when you gain the knowledge, there is no depreciation in the knowledge. The more you share the knowledge, the more you gain. In fact, it is opposite. If we are having some wealth, example, if I share my wealth to you, so you are the gainer, I am the loser. And if you share your wealth to me, you are the loser, I am the gainer. But if I am having the knowledge, when I am sharing my knowledge to you, you are also gainer, I am also gainer. And when you share your knowledge to me, you are also gainer, I am also gainer. Hence, it is a uttama. The knowledge is the most important. There is a no loss. It is not subject to loss. So this is because if you gain something, you are different from it. And also another way, whatever you gain, you are different from it. You say, I gained this property. Are you property? No. Property belongs to you. You are separate from the property. And at some time or other will be separated from it. Even the body will be lost at some point. Then where is the question of retaining the things that are connected to the body? Body itself is going to be lost. Where is the question of retaining the things which are belongs to the body? All our relations are belongs to the body. Please make a note. All our property belongs to the body. In terms of our body as a GPS, global position or center position, all our relations are there. Whether you say mother, father, daughter, son, or siblings, etc., whatever, in relation to the body. When this body is also not going to be permanent. When the body itself is not the permanent, what is the thing that which is going to be permanent, which belongs to the body? Sometimes before we give up the body, our relations may go, our wealth may go, our properties may go. We don't know. So from any end or place you reach, there is always a return or going away. But moksha, however, is an end gati that does not come to an end because it is not gained or reached. Moksha is always with us. It has always been an accomplished fact. Only thing we don't know. It is there with us 24/7. Moksha is with us. Only we are clouded, our knowledge is clouded by the ignorance. Our buddhi, instead of knowledge, the best word is, our buddhi is clouded by the avidya, ignorance. That is the reason I am not able to see myself. Are you ever separate from yourself? We always with ourselves only. But we don't know who am I, what we are. That is because these gunas are playing the role. Now, how to transcend these gunas is a topic. Look at the next shloka. Idam jñānamupāśritya mama sādharmyamāgatāḥ sarge'pi nopajāyante pralaye na vyathanti ca. Upāśritya. Idam jñānam upāśritya mama sādharmyam agatāḥ sarge api na upajāyante pralaye na vyathanti ca. Upāśritya, resorting to idam jnanam, this knowledge. Agatāḥ, agatāḥ means they have attained. Sādharmyam mama, the same nature as mine. Na upajāyante, they are not born. Api sarge, even during the creation. Nacha vyathanti, nor do they suffer. Nor do they suffer, or nor do they die. No death. Pralaye, during the dissolution. This is a word-to-word meaning. Look at the explanation with the help of Shankaracharya. Here Shankaracharya explained the phrase jñānamupāśritya. First line, idam jñānamupāśritya. Jñānamupāśritya, resorting to or pursuing this knowledge. Pursuing this knowledge as what? Pursuing this knowledge as jnana sadhanam. Jnana sadhanam anushtaya. That is, following the means for this knowledge, which is shravana, manana, and nididhyasana. Jnana sadhanam anushtaya. The jnana sadhanam. What are the means for the jnana? Sadhanam means here. The means are shravana, manana, nididhyasana. Following these means, the munis, the sages, gained this knowledge. What knowledge? The nature of which Bhagavan describes here as mama sādharmyam. The nature Bhagavan is going to describe here, is going to explain to us mama sādharmyam. Mama sādharmyam means oneness with me. Knowing this knowledge, to gain that knowledge means are shravana mana nididhyasana. By following this shravana mana nididhyasana, all the sages are gained the mama sādharmyam, the oneness with the Ishvara. Here he says mama means mine means the Bhagavans. Okay? Mama sādharmyam agatāḥ. That means they have discovered that Atma is non-separate from Parameshvara. Here Shankaracharya makes a note. What is that note? This is not the condition of having a similar attribute, samana dharmata. There is a possibility of doing the different interpretation. This one word, mama sādharmyamāgatāḥ, there are people who interpret this, oh, they are like me, they are similar to me. Because, hey, you also know this one, I am also know this one. So that means you and me are similar. Very oftenly people say that you and me are same because we both know same thing. Mama sadharmyam. But don't take that there is no parallel reality. If you take that you and me are similar means, hey, the moment when you use the word similar means, hey, you are different, I am different. We are having the similarities. Maybe in everything we may having the similarity. Maybe from the body point of view, we may having the similarity. Maybe our habits point of view, we may having the similarity. Maybe the qualities point of view, we are having the similarity. Maybe our intelligence point of view, we may having the similarity. You can take anything. When you say mama sadharmyam, we are similar. That means there is a duality. Still it is a duality. We are similar. When you use the word similar, when you want to compare with one thing with the other thing, then only you use the word similar, correct? Otherwise, why we use the word similar? So when Bhagavan says here, mama sadharmyam, one is similar to me, that is not the proper word here. So mama sadharmyam means we need to understand the oneness with me. It is not the two similar realities, it is oneness with me. This Shankaracharya makes a note here because there are people who may interpret in a different way and there are people who may get confused with this kind of statements. And so Shankaracharya makes it very clearly, this is not the condition of having the similar attributes, but samana dharmata. It is not as some would interpret as you are different, I am different, but it is the oneness. So important point. So throughout the Gita, the identity of the Kshetrajna and Ishvara is being unfolded. Difference is not accepted at all. The authority for Shankaracharya to say this statement for the Mama Sadharmyam, in the last 13 chapters, in many places, Bhagavan unfolded the topic, the identity of the Kshetrajna and Ishvara is being unfolded. So whenever we interpret any shloka, we have to keep in mind the entire chapter. Whenever you are interpreting any chapter, we have to keep in the mind entire text. Otherwise, I will pick up the one shloka, I will do interpretation as my own. Or I will pick up the one line from the shloka, I will do the interpretation as I want. That should not be followed. Whatever the interpretation one does on any one shloka of the Bhagavad Gita, it should have the support, it should not be contradiction to the any other explanations in the Bhagavad Gita. Then that is called proper explanation. I am telling you again and again this point because there is a possibility for us. We would like to explore many books, many publishers, and we want to study them, we want to read them because we want to know everything. Nothing wrong. It is a very good. Want to know, want to read many books, want to explore to the different philosophies. Nothing wrong. Wonderful. But remember how to approach the philosophies. How to understand the text. Within the text, there should not be contradictory statements. Okay, that is the most important. So based on that, Bhagavan Shankaracharya, he explains to us, difference is not accepted at all. So, sadharmya cannot mean just a similarity of virtues or attributes. It is the very nature, the swarupa of Bhagavan, which is a satyam, jnanam, anantam, brahma. These munis understand that their own swarupa is also satyam, jnanam, anantam, brahma. Thus, they recognize their essential identity with Ishvara. The mention of the result here is for the sake of praising this knowledge. I hope this is very clear to you, especially certain words when they come in the Bhagavad Gita, we should pay more attention to them because there is a possibility of misunderstanding. In one word, if we misunderstood, that may make us to misunderstand the entire shloka. Once when you misunderstand one shloka, there is a possibility of understanding the rest of the consequences. Hence, Shankaracharya, he picks up sometimes just one word, he goes on explaining that word. Because to have the more clarity to us, whatever the possible confusions, Shankaracharya rises and he solves those issues. Okay. And further, he says that even at the time of creation, they do not come into being. Sarge'pi na upajāyante. Bhagavan says, even at the time of creation, once when you got the moksha, once when you gain the moksha, once when you reach the paraṁ gatim, again when the creation comes, they do not come into being. Even though countless number of people have departed from this world, they remain in other places and after dissolution, born again in a different forms. When the creation manifests, some jivas occupy the positions of even the preceding deities. For those who recognize their identity with Ishvara, however, even at the time of creation, they do not come into being. They remain as a Brahman. There is no individual at all to assume any form. Even though by chance if they come, they are fully aware what was their life, what they are, what they were, and what is their goal. They come to accomplish a particular mission and they go back. Like the great Mahatmas. And we say them not a jiva, we say they are the incarnation of the God only. Like Shankaracharya, Swami Vivekananda. There are many people who comes and mission accomplished, they give up the body and they go. With the will, they can come or they need not to come. So naturally, then at the time of dissolution, they are not destroyed. Pralaye na vyathanti. When the Mahapralaya takes place, even Brahmaji loses his position. When I say Brahmaji, Chaturmukha Brahma loses his position. As the entire creation resolves into an unmanifest condition. So these sages, however, do not get destroyed even in that Mahapralaya because they do not exist as individuals. They are Brahman. And there may be a question. Why? One may ask, do we use the plural here? Are there many Atmas? Because you are saying that they don't come here, they don't destroy themselves. Why are you using the they? If you are using the word they, see, this is how Shankaracharya observes the Krishna also. When the Bhagavan is teaching, Shankaracharya is asking, why are you using the plural here? Come on, tell me. Of course, Shankaracharya himself gives the answer. Are there many Atmas? From the standpoint of Atma, there is no plurality, correct? All that is here is only one Atma, but when we talk about the sages, we are referring to the Upadhi. Whenever we use the word plural, don't look at it from the Atma point of view, but look at it from the Upadhi point of view. Referring to the Upadhi in which this recognition of being Brahman took place for them. So the forms for which there were the names, there are many names like Vashishta, Janaka, Vamadeva, Vyasa, etc. Since they do not come again in other forms, we continue to call them by these names and can even worship them as a Parameshwara. That is the reason we worship the like Vyasa and Vasishta. So Parameshwara, because that is what they are. So when the unmanifest comes to manifest, everything that existed before pralaya comes into being except these sages who gained moksha. They remain as the cause of the whole thing. When the creation is destroyed, they are not destroyed because the whole creation resolves into them. So therefore, once gained, there is no possibility of returning from or losing the moksha because it does not take place. You didn't gain anything. Even though we use the word gained, in reality, we are not gaining anything. In fact, we are losing something. What we are losing? We are losing our ajñānam. We are losing our ignorance. Knowledge is not gained. Why? Knowledge is there with us already. Our Swarupa is there with us all the time. I am not able to recognize because of the ignorance. So while studying this Bhagavad Gita, while studying the Vedanta, what is happening? Ignorance is removed. And whatever the obstacles which comes in between to remove the ignorance, those obstacles are removed. Okay. If it is an experience, you can recover from it. Since it is a jnana, it cannot be lost and its gain is only figurative. After praising the knowledge in the first two shlokas, Bhagavan now begins the topic of this chapter, which is how the Prakriti guna, how the Prakriti gunas bind a person. First, Bhagavan points out the cause for all these creations. So the first two shlokas we have seen very elaborately because this gives the background for understanding the rest of the chapter. So hence we also went through the more explanation, more elaboration. Now comes the third shloka. We will chant and we will continue in the next class. Mama yonirmahad brahma tasmin garbham dadamyaham sambhava sarvabhutanam tato bhavati bharata. We'll continue in the next class. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah sarve santu niramayah sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschit dukkha bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Om Om. Thank you.